Hello and welcome to my video on comparison with internal combustion engine technology. In today's world, we are all striving towards sustainable energy sources, and one of the most significant ways to achieve this goal is through electric vehicles. In this video, we'll be comparing electric vehicles with traditional internal combustion engine vehicles and exploring the technology behind these two types of engines. By the end of this video, you will have a better understanding of the pros and cons of each engine type and what the future holds for the both in the automotive industry. Electric vehicle engines and internal combustion engines work on different principles to convert energy into motion. Electric vehicle engines work by using electric power from a battery pack to drive an electric motor. The battery pack provides the energy to the motor, which converts electric energy into mechanical energy. The motor rotates the wheels, propelling the vehicle forward. In the electric vehicle, the electric motor also acts as a generator during regenerative braking, converting some of the kinetic energy of the vehicle into electric energy to charge the battery. In contrast, internal combustion engine works by burning fuel to create a controlled explosion in the combustion chamber. The force from the explosion pushes a piston, which turns and crankshaft, and this rotation is ultimately transmitted to the wheels of the vehicle. The most common fuel of internal combustion engine is gasoline, but diesel and other fuels are also used. Internal combustion engine requires several other systems to function correctly, including an air intake system, fuel injection system, and exhaust system, among others. Electric vehicle engines and internal combustion engines are two very different technologies that operate in fundamentally different ways. Today, I'll go through some of the key differences between the two technologies, along with practical explanation of how these differences impact real world use. The parameters we'll be going through will be power source, efficiency, emission, maintenance, range, and performance. Now we'll go through power source. Power source of electric combustion internal combustion engine rely on combustion to produce power, while electric vehicle engines rely on electricity stored in batteries. This fundamental difference in power source leads to several practical differences in operation. Internal combustion engines require fueling up at gas stations, while electric vehicles require charging at charging stations or at home. Electric vehicle engines also have fewer moving parts, which makes them more reliable and requires less maintenance over time. An electric vehicle engine is like an athlete who has trained hard to build up their endurance. They are fueled by a battery that stores electricity, which can be replenished by plugging into an electric outlet. When you press the accelerator pedal, the electric motor takes power from the battery and uses it to turn the wheels, providing a smooth and silent ride. On the other hand, an internal combustion engine is like a sprinter who relies on quick bursts of energy to get the job done. It's fueled by gasoline or diesel, which is burned inside the engine to produce power. When you press the gas pedal, the engine burns fuel and air to create a controlled explosion, which turns a series of gears to propel the car forward. This process generates heat, noise, and emissions. Now we'll go to the second point parameter efficiency. Electric vehicle engines are generally more efficient than internal combustion engines. Electric vehicle engines can convert up to 80% of the energy stored in their batteries into power to drive the vehicle, while internal combustion engines only convert about 25 to 30% of the energy in gasoline into power to drive the vehicle. This means that electric vehicles can travel farther on the same amount of energy, which translates to lower fuel cost and less time spent fueling or recharging. Electric vehicle engine is like a well insulated house on a cool winter day. Let's imagine that. Okay. Now the engine is highly efficient, converting almost all the electricity stored in the battery into forward motion. Right. This is like keeping the heat inside the house with very little escaping to the walls or windows. Electric vehicles is also benefit from regenerative braking, which captures energy normally lost during braking and uses it to recharge the battery. On the other hand, internal combustion engine is like an old drafty house that leaks the heat. The engine is less efficient, with only a portion of fuel's energy actually being used to move the car. This is like losing heat through the poorly insulated walls and windows. In addition, internal combustion engines waste a lot of energy through heat and friction, which reduces their efficiency. In summary, electric vehicle engines are more efficient than internal combustion engines because they convert most of the energy source, that is electricity, into forward motion. Now we'll go through the other parameter, that is emission. Internal combustion engines produce emission during combustion, which have negative impacts on air quality and public health. Electric vehicle engines, on the other hand, produce zero emissions at the tailpipe, which makes them a cleaner and more sustainable choice. However, the emissions associated with the electric vehicles depend on the source of electricity used to charge them. If the electricity comes from coal fired power plants, for example, then the emissions associated with charging an electric vehicle will be higher than if the electricity comes from the renewable source like wind or solar. And electric vehicle engines produces no direct emissions. It means it doesn't release harmful pollutants like carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, or particulate matter into the air. This is because electric vehicles run on electricity, which is clean and renewable energy source. Right? On the other hand, internal combustion engine produces direct emissions, which are harmful pollutants that can contribute to climate change and pollution. This is because internal combustion engines burn gasoline or diesel fuel, which releases carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and particulate matter into the air. Now we'll go to the another parameter, that is maintenance. Electric vehicle engines require less maintenance than internal combustion engine. Electric vehicle engines have fewer moving parts and require less frequent oil changes, spark plug require replacements, and other routine services. This can translate to lower maintenance cost over time for electric vehicle owners. Whereas this is not the same case in the internal combustion engines. Range. We'll discuss range. Now, internal combustion engines generally have a lower range than electric vehicles, but this gap is shrinking rapidly as electric vehicle technology improves. Some newer electric vehicles can travel up to 300 to 400 miles on a single charge, which is comparable to the range of many internal combustion engines. However, the range of an internal electric vehicle can be impacted by factors like driving style, weather, terrain. So, it's important to consider these factors when choosing a vehicle. Now, we'll discuss about performance. Electric vehicle engines have instant torque, which means they can accelerate quickly and smoothly, whereas internal combustion engines generally have a slower acceleration time and take longer to reach their maximum speed. This makes electric vehicle engines a good choice for drivers who prioritize acceleration and responsiveness. Now, we'll go to the power density. Fuel used in internal combustion engines have higher power density than electric vehicle engines. Refilling time of electric combustion engine requires less time approximately less than 5 minutes. Whereas in case of electric vehicle engine, it has a charging time about zero point 0.5 to 8 hours. In electric vehicle internal combustion engines, fuel tank takes less space and the weight of the fuel is very less. Whereas in electric vehicle engines, battery tank takes large. Also, the batteries are very heavy. Mm, Noise production in case of internal combustion engines produces a lot of noise, whereas in case of in electric vehicles have less noise. Now we'll go to the recovery of braking energy. Regenerative braking. Electric vehicle engines can use regenerative braking to capture energy that would otherwise be lost during braking and convert it back into usable energy for the vehicle's battery. Whereas in internal combustion engine, it do not have this capacity. So the energy lost during braking is typically dissipated as heat. Now we'll go to the time required for maximum torque for both the engines. Electric vehicle engines have instant torque, which means they can accelerate quickly from a standstill. Whereas internal combustion engines, on the other hand, have a delay in torque delivery, which can make them feel sluggish when starting from the stop. So we can say that it requires pick up some speed to deliver maximum torque. It's not the same case in case of electric vehicle engines. So overall, both internal combustion engines and electric vehicle engines have their own unique advantages and disadvantages. The choice between the two ultimately depends on the specific needs of the driver, including factors like driving habits, commuting patterns, and accessing to charging infrastructure. However, as electric vehicle technology continues to improve, more drivers are likely to make the switch to electric vehicles in coming years. Thank you for watching the video on the comparison with internal combustion engine. We have explored the technology behind electric and internal combustion engines and discussed the benefits and drawbacks of each. If you find this video helpful, please like it and share it, and subscribe to the channel for more informative content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.